tutorial for the face. First I start with a circle like most face guides. Then I add some lines for the jawline and I try to make them as even as possible. Then I add a guideline just to center it. Next I draw the ears first because they're a good point to make everything else even. Then I do the eyebrows. Make sure the tops of them don't go past the ears and the bottom of them are in the middle of the eyes. Then you should know exactly where to put the eyes. Next I add the nose and the mouth. They're pretty simple, so I shouldn't have to go over it, especially in frontal view. The neck comes right off the bottom of the earlobes and then go into his shoulder muscles, which aren't his shoulders, and then add a little bit of detail, but I'm not going to get into the body right now. That's what your pencil sketch should look like. Then I ink it. Took the same face, drew it 4 times, and now I'm going to draw different hair and a couple different features and show you that it makes a different character even though it's the same face. For some reason my computer doesn't want to show that clip I recorded, so I'm going to skip to Gohan. See, I have the same face guide and I'm just putting different hair and almost no changes to the actual face, and it looks like Gohan when he's an adult. Now I'm going to go over and do Yamcha when he has longer hair, and it's the same basic thing. It's the same face, but you just add a couple details and different hair and it looks like a totally different character. Now I'm gonna just go over and fill in all their hair so you can see what it looks like. I'm using a Sharpie marker, and I wouldn't really recommend it because anyone who's filled in large areas with it know it kind of leaves weird marks. But if you're just going to scan it and make it all black and white and color it later on your computer or something, it's fine to use a Sharpie, but there's tons of different ways to ink it. Basically I'm just going to fill in Goku's hair with black and anything else that's black, and I'm gonna do the same for all the other characters, and you'll see how this one facial guide, especially for this frontal view, you can make just about every Dragon Ball Z character starts out with this basic thing. You can add a third eye to make Tien, although his eyes are slightly shaped different. You could make the jaw bigger to make Raccoon. It's just basically changing little details, but you always start out with the same thing. I just wanted to point out, when Yamcha has long hair, it usually covers his ears or partial ears, so I just covered part of them. And then you can take the same guide and make any character pretty much. Like, I just put it in my computer and kind of came up with Piccolo really fast, even though it's not exactly like him, but you can see how the same guide, just working with it and changing little details, you can make any character.